I think there should be an amusement park called Sorkin Land. You just go there and they've hired actors to say Sorkin dialogue all day long. I'd buy season passes. Steve Jobs is the name of the movie, also the name of the man who came to prominence co-founding a computer company called Apple, and then getting fired from Apple, and then coming back to Apple and making amazing things. Though that's not really what this story is about. Sure, that stuff is there, kind of the structure of the computer company and his kind of career and what he did, but this is more a movie about the person of Steve Jobs, his interaction with the people around him, his family members, his estranged family, his co-workers, and what that looked like as this man was driven to excellence. This is a phenomenal movie. Aaron Sorkin is probably the heart of the reason why. I am a Sorkin guy. Now, there are people who aren't. His dialogue can get a little bit out there for some people. I know that people don't talk like Aaron Sorkin writes them. I just want them to. I want to live in that world where people have dialogue and conversations layered with metaphor and rhythmic cadence and, you know, tete-a-tete back and forth. I just want to live there. Unfortunately, we don't, and that's okay. But when I go see one of his movies, I get to live there for a little bit, and I loved it. I also love the performances in this movie. You've got Michael Fassbender doing amazing work as Steve Jobs. Kate Winslet is really good as his assistant. Seth Rogen as Steve Wozniak is really good, and I'm not usually a Seth Rogen apologist, but he was really, really good here. And of course, Jeff Daniels, who worked with Sorkin on Newsroom, delivers his dialogue so well. And he's a great part of this as well. Great performances all around. And the structure of this movie is really interesting. It takes place basically in 3 real-time segments around the launch of 3 different products in Steve Jobs' career. And each of these 5 individuals in his life have conversations with him in each of these 3 sections. So it's a really interesting and compact structure that I think gives the movie a real life in cleverness and energy. It also has probably the only negative things about the movie for me deal with the structure as well. Because it only takes place in those 3 segments, I think there is a little bit of missing backstory that you get from watching somebody, you know, grow up and who they are. You don't really know this man aside from these product launches. Although I do think Sorkin does a good job of kind of rounding him out in the conversations as he does so well. I also feel like you can really see that this isn't truth when it's formed like this. Because obviously all of these conversations and all of these big moments didn't just happen in these 3 moments in time. But the thing is, Sorkin does that, and he admits he does that. He is more of an impressionist painter than a photographer. He's not trying to show you true life. He's trying to paint you a picture of this man and who he was based on the true events around him. And he plays with that a lot. So if that's going to bother you, it might be a negative in the film. And it was a slight one for me, but very, very slight. In fact, overall, those negatives don't bring the film down very much. I think Steve Jobs is a wonderful movie, well deserving of the praise it's getting, and for me lands right at an A-. Thank you so much for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. But first, click on the cards up here and it'll shift out and you can look at other reviews that have happened here at Your Movie Friend lately. You can go to the website, yourmoviefriend.com. You can also support the channel. There's a click in there that you can do that with. Also, if you would follow me on Periscope, I'm loving doing real-time video streaming right after every movie I go to and having conversations with you about these movies that I'm seeing and taking your questions. Just download the app and then search for Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. Also subscribe to the podcast. That's SiftPop, SiftPop, the official podcast of Your Movie Friend in iTunes and Stitcher. All right, on to the best ever challenge. This is where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to pick my choice. Let's do the best true story tech movie. So a technology movie that is also based on a true story. Mine is going to have to be a very recent one that is about one of Steve Jobs' heroes. It's actually mentioned in the Steve Jobs movie, but one that many people hadn't heard of until very, very recently. I think that's fake enough. Take a guess in the comments what mine is, and also leave your answer. Love to discuss that as well. And as always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit the subscribe logo right down in this corner.